Hello, and welcome to another edition of Humble Theology. My name is John, and in this series, I'm recording a lot of series today, so it's like I'm trying to keep them all straight. We're looking at the Westminster Confession of Faith. We are in chapter 8, section 6. It's still dealing with Christ and his mediatorial role. And section 6 says, let's read that. Although the work of redemption was not actually wrought by Christ till after his incarnation, yet the virtue, efficacy, and benefits thereof were communicated unto the elect in all ages successively from the beginning of the world, in and by those promises, types, and sacrifices wherein he was revealed, and signified to be the seed of the woman, which should bruise the serpent's head, and the Lamb slain from the beginning of the world, being yesterday and today the same and forever. So in general, what the confession is trying to get us to realize here is that, yes, Christ's incarnation, his birth, his life, then obviously death on the cross, resurrection, all these things happen in time. We'd say, we set the calendar. His birth, well, is that, 080 or 3080, BC, and then all that stuff. Our calendars revolve around that time period, the birth and life and death of Christ, or at least used to. I don't think modern world uses the before Christ and after Christ anymore, but anyway. Okay, but what it's pointing at here is that although these things happen in time, what Christ accomplished, he accomplished in time. Nevertheless, it's virtue, efficacy, and benefits. So salvation, we would say, just in summarizing those things, the not just salvation, the gift of his righteousness, the gift of faith, these things were available to everyone since the beginning of the world. And how? Well, in and by and through the promises, types, and sacrifices that revealed him. We would say in the Old Testament, of course, they didn't have as clear a picture of Jesus as we have today. They wouldn't even have known him by name, Jesus. They would have known, well, a redeemer or a mediator or prophet, priest, and king. There were all these different types and shadows. The sacrificial lamb, as it mentions here as well, slain from the beginning of the world. These things were depicted as the role, the mediatorial role that Jesus would fulfill in time, but obviously promised beforehand. So these were the things in the Old Testament people were looking forward to Christ accomplishing, a Redeemer God accomplishing, and that we obviously, post-Christ, post-resurrection, that we look back to. So these things have always been the means of salvation, the means of grace. It's been the same forever. It's been the same ever since Adam fell, and he was given the promise, as is mentioned here, that the seed of the woman would bruise the serpent's head. These things all point to Christ, and faith in him has always been the means of salvation. His grace, his mercy being poured out upon people, and they in turn being regenerated by the Holy Spirit. They believe and they wait and they rest on Christ in whatever their age and circumstances were, to wait for him, or as we do, like I said, we look back as well. So that's all that this section is really trying to dig in and get at here. We will look at another section next time, section 7. God bless. Take care. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you feel so inclined, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I will see you again next time. God bless. Take care.